innovation, energy, and charging in a new direction, but still charging. And so it is a great pleasure for me to present you this small plaque on behalf of the Tri-State Catalyst Club for the Tri-State Catalyst Club Award 1987, presented to William P. Hettinger, Jr.
Thank you so much. I know you're the instigator of this. Well, thank you very much. He was a complete surprise to me. I almost missed this meeting. My announcement didn't come, and somewhere I put in my notebook April 15th was the date, and so I called Sue, I guess, and said, hey, I want to sign up. I'll probably be there. Finally got the announcement the other day and saw that I was supposed to be here for an award. And boy, am I glad I didn't miss this meeting. I am certainly gratified to receive this award, and I'm particularly pleased to see the club start such a tradition, which we know has been carried out in other clubs. I am a romanticist, as Bert knows. I wrote that book, or the story, The Romance of Catalysis, in order to convince Herman Pines that there are other things for a graduate student to do besides go into nuclear chemistry, when he was telling me that we never could recruit anyone in catalysis. So I wrote that to point out what a glamorous field it is. And over the years, I've always tried to create an atmosphere of excitement and enthusiasm for catalysis, and because that's how I felt about it. I must tell you also, I'm very much impressed with this symposium. It just seems like every year it gets better and better. The seventh one, and little did we think when we started that we certainly would be able to carry out, to have symposia. We're lucky to have a club. I think I'm also pleased that the club has survived in this period of belt tightening, because we all know that research has had a rather difficult time, especially the petroleum industry. And so to see it survive in that sense is gratifying. Also, another thing that I'm really pleased about is that it is continuing to grow in two dimensions. That is, it's always been my thought that we could move this club around from here to Charleston to Lexington to Louisville, now Cincinnati, and I think this is a way to carry the spirit of catalysis around. So I'm really pleased that that has been accomplished also, and I think it will add to the strength and the fun of the club as well. Bert is certainly right. To me, I thought I would write this so I'd say it correctly. And I don't want to be too stiff about it, but I want to pass this on to you a bit. To me, catalysis has always been an exciting adventure. I've always followed where the questions arose, and was always eager to see where the path would lead me next. It's been exciting to climb to heights and then look over the horizon, see new heights to climb and new questions to ask, and wondering what tomorrow's experiment would bring in the way of a new discovery that you just couldn't wait to find out what would happen. I know that I'm known good and bad for taking leaps of intuition and speculation, but I've found through the years that most of the time those intuitions were not too bad. And when I was wrong, it also stirred up a lot of interest, so that there was, the end result was the development of new concepts and new ideas. So I think that to me, catalysis has always been a unique combination of science and art, and also a fascinating combination of logic, intuition, innovation, imagination, and I must say, a little alchemy. And I guess that's kind of the frosting on the technology. There's always that wondering, what happens when I do this and that? So I don't believe there's any other field quite like catalysis. No matter how much we study these catalysts, there's always certain things we don't know, new questions to ask. I think that is the compensation that comes from the trials and tribulations. I know that research management is a lot of trials and tribulations, how to keep the team together, how to get talent, how to get equipment. And those are headaches, but the running of the experiments, that is the thing that has always excited me. I think I've been lax in probably not publishing enough. I don't expect much acclaim for what I've done because I usually, one of my faults or whatever was that I was always anxious to find out what was going to happen next, and spent very little time publishing what I had already learned. You know. So I think that just the reward itself, the self-fulfillment, the fun of doing something, the pursuit, it's one of the few really honest, really frontiers left. Maybe space is a frontier, but I think catalysis is and has remained and will be a frontier that is never exhausted. There's always something new. I had hoped too that this club would take on the spirit of the first Catalyst Club in Chicago. It wasn't the first club, but it was one where there was lots of debates, vigorous debates, and after the debates were over, everyone was friends with everyone else, and we go out and have a drink. And it was that spirit that I think has come into this club too. I also wanted to mention that, and I think it's been neglected, and there's some oversight, that this club was founded not just by my ideas, but also I had a lot of help, and I want to be sure that the word gets to him, and I will tell him personally, remind everyone that if it hadn't been for some support from Carl Jewett, who was in the H-Cole laboratories directing that research at the time, we probably never would have had a club, because I started talking about it with Carl, and Carl in his enthusiasm said, hey, sure, I'll help. Let's see what we can do about getting letters out and getting it organized. So Carl Jewett has a lot of credit coming for this. Well, thank you again for this touching and really thoughtful award. I've treasured it very much, and my best wishes to the continuing success of the club and to all of you who seek to discover new worlds of application in the exciting and unique world of catalysis. Thanks very much. Really a pleasure for me.